여러분, 저희 TwinkleAP 어학원이 학생들의 발표 능력 향상을 위하여 제1회 스토리텔링 이벤트를 개최하게 되었습니다. 학부모 여러분의 많은 격려와 칭찬 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.
Hello everyone, welcome to the STAR Storytelling event. And so over the past 4 weeks, students have been working very hard creating their own stories and memorizing their presentations. And so one key skill for leadership is public speaking, which is what we really try to teach students in nonfiction class. And so for today's presentation orders, we're going to have Rose, Kai, Grace, Ayin, Brenton, Joan, and Ben. And so first, can we please have Rose?
No. Hello, my name is Rose. I'm on talk about Rosie. Rosie is my cousin's pet dog. Her full name is Rosalina Fludalina Song. I got to stay with Rosie for 2 months when I went to my cousin's house in Vancouver, Canada this winter vacation. Rosie is 2 years old and she is a toy poodle. Even though she is a dog, she has many similarities to humans. First, she likes to eat human food. For example, she likes cheese and sweet potatoes. When Rosie did a trick, I gave her a sweet potato and she nibbled it up and she even licked her nose, and sweet potato got on her nose and I wiped it off for her. Second, she likes to play human games. For instance, she likes to play tag. Whenever she goes to a park, she likes to chase us or run away from us. Also, she likes sledding. When it was very snowy in Lynn Valley, I went sledding with Rosie. I hugged Rosie and sled down the slope. It was very fun and Rosie seemed like she enjoyed it too. Third, she likes to snuggle. When I was sick with a fever in Canada, Rosie snuggled beside me and I got well very soon. Fourth, when Rosie was a baby pup, she was very small and cute. But now, she's older and more mature, like humans. So, lastly, Rosie has personal preferences like humans do. For example, I like books, but I don't like shrimps. Like that, Rosie likes to do all those things I said, but she doesn't like taking a bath or somebody touching her nose or somebody grabbing her paw. I think dogs are great friends to humans since we share so many similarities. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Rose. That was a very sweet and interesting story about Rosie. I can tell you really love dogs. And so next up we have Kai.
I thought it was about flowers. Hello, my name is Kai and I'm 9 years old and I'm in 2nd grade. I've recently been growing a cherry tomato, so I'm gonna talk about tomatoes. In Italy, they call tomatoes gold apple. And in Germany, they call tomatoes love apple. Also, in America, they call them rose apple. The person who first made ketchup was from China. People who lived in South China made something named cassia, and it got to Europe through trade. An American named Haynes saw Europeans eating ketchup and got a brilliant idea. He made ketchup in 1876. He combined tomato, sugar, salt, and vinegar. He put this ketchup in a glass bottle and it became famous and spread throughout the world. When tomatoes came to Europe, people did not eat tomatoes for 100 years because a similar-looking plant named mandrake was used as an operation anesthetic. If you eat tea made with the root or leaf or of a mandrake, you might die. They are like tomatoes, so Europeans thought it was mandrake and did not eat tomatoes. If you cut tomatoes and sprinkle sugar, it melts in the tomato and becomes sweet. However, it's not good. This is because the vitamin D doesn't get in our body and is used first to digest the sugar. So don't sprinkle sugar on them. Also, a 100-gram tomatoes has 230 milligrams of potassium. Eat tomatoes for your health. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Kai, for teaching us about tomatoes. You did a lot of research and that was a very good job. And so next up we have Grace.
Hello, my name is Grace. I will tell you about space. First, our solar system is in space. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus and Neptune are planets in our solar system. These planets get energy from the sun. The sun is the biggest star in our solar system. Mercury is right next to the sun, so it seems like Mercury is the hottest planet in our solar system. But Venus is actually the hottest planet because it has a thick layer of carbon dioxide. So the heat from the sun can't escape from the layer of carbon dioxide. In contrast, the coldest planet in our solar system is Neptune. Next, I will talk about the moon. The moon is essentially Earth's satellite. The moon always spins around the Earth. The American astronaut Neil Armstrong was the first man who walked on the moon. Although our science is advanced, there are some planets we still don't know about. A shooting star is a meteorite. Meteorites are bits of rocks from space falling to Earth. They are burning hot. People say that if we see a shooting star, we can make a wish. If I see a shooting star, I will wish for COVID-19 to be gone. Also, in addition to astrology, some people believe there are aliens on Mars, but some people don't. I don't know if aliens are real or not, but I always want to know more about space, so I love reading books about space. I'm so happy to teach you about space. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Grace, for teaching us about space. You did a lot of research and you did a very good job. And so next up we have Ian.
Hello, my name is Diane. Welcome to eStars. Today I'm going to tell you about my best friend, Igor. First of all, he is 10 years old now. and he taught me about a story about when he went to a school for only a month. So I'm going to tell you the story of when Edgar Percival went to a school for only a month. It was September 1st. He was having a celebration because he became the first student, one of the students to get into Koch, the magical school. The principal was Mr. Dumpy. So when he entered the school, he had to take platform 9 3/4. So he went to the train station, but he saw that there was no platform 9 3/4. So he ran around and around the train station, but then he found a lady saying platform 9 3/4. So he followed the lady, and there was children with the lady. So he saw the children going inside a giant hole in the wall. So he went into the hole in the wall, and he found a giant train station. Its name was platform 9 3/4. He knew this before he saw the sign because there was a lot of students saying platform 9 3/4. So when he went inside the train, he saw a lady selling some pumpkins. Everyone refused to get the pumpkin, so he bought one pumpkin. And he tried to eat the pumpkin when he was hungry. The pumpkin transformed into a top hat, and he put it on his head. At the end of the train ride, he went inside the school. He noticed that when he went inside the school, that the top hat melted, and all in his head was a little goose that smelled like pumpkins. So on the first day, he found out that this school wasn't the usual school. He taught magic tricks. He knew many magic tricks at the end of the month. So at the end of the month, he went to the train again and went inside his usual home. So he told his parents that he had to go to a school that was named Koch, and they teach magic tricks. The parents said, "Go there again." So he waited for the letter again and again that led them into Koch, but the letter never came. The end.
So next up we have Joanne.
I have started.
Hello, my name is Joan. I'll tell you about my dog Biscuit. I met him at a pet shop. He was a 1-month-old little puppy. I liked another puppy, but my parents were looking at him with the sparkling eyes, so I just gave up. But since I took him home, I started to fall in love with it. So now he's very happy running in our house. He's a Maltese mixed breed. I named him Biscuit because his fur color is brown. He looks more like Maltese, but it doesn't matter to me because he's just as special as every other dog. Since Biscuit came out, Biscuit gives me a lot of responsibilities. I learned a lot of things about dogs since I got Biscuit, such as forbidden dog food, how to train dogs, and dog language. For example, chocolate and grapes are deadly for dogs. Once, Biscuit ate too much chocolate that he was sent to a vet to have a surgery. Biscuit sometimes drinks water from my cup too. It's a bad thing to do, but he's my pet. I think it's cool when he does it, but my mom takes it seriously. I also enjoy walking him while line skating. He just pulls me so hard like a dog said that I should hold on to my mom. This kid makes my family really happy. Once when my dad was sleeping, he felt something on his face. He opened his eyes and saw Biscuit licking his face. I like Biscuit licking my face too. It's a little bit gross though. Biscuit makes me angry. Biscuit makes me happy but also angry. Not very often though. It usually happens when my family went there living alone at home. This kid, I think it's in at least 10 of my classes at least so far. I think he did it to take revenge on us for not taking him. But as soon as I see him wagging his tail with such innocent eyes, my heart just melts. Since then, whenever we go out, we make sure everything is out of his reach. Even though he may be naughty, he's a very important member of our family. Our family became much happier since Biscuit came. I hope Biscuit will be happy for the rest of his life because I love him so much. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Joanne. That's a very sweet story about Biscuit. I can see many students in 2E stars really like dogs. And so, last but not least, we have Ben.
Hello, my name is Benjamin and I'm from 2E Stars. Today I'm going to tell you about the wonders of Egypt. Did you know the capital city of Egypt is Cairo? Cairo is also the way to the Nile Delta. Before I tell you about the wonders of Egypt, I'm going to tell you a little short story. My dad also traveled to Egypt, and that gave me the idea I wanted to travel to Egypt when I grew up. Now I'm going to tell you about the wonders of Egypt, like the Egyptian people, the Sphinx, and how the pyramids were built. First, let's talk about the Egyptian people. The Egyptian people like visitors, so they always like people visiting their land, and they are really happy about it. So don't worry if they suddenly like you and they just say random names. It's just normal. They just love visitors. Second, I'm going to tell you about the pyramids. The pyramids are ancient Mesozoic structures. The Egyptians built them about 2000 BCE ago. The Egyptians really worked hard for their king. But when the king died, the Egyptians were sad. And the Egyptians built a really fancy gold tomb that's located in Egypt. And this was called the pyramids. The pyramids were built by stacking rocks and putting sand over it. The pyramids was a really complex structure and had maze and had traps. But today, the pyramids are a really famous museum. But when my dad traveled, I think the pyramids still had those traps and mazes. I think my dad went to the pyramids and saw the pharaohs' mummies and the king's famous stuff, like the king's slippers. Finally, I'm going to tell you about the Sphinx. The Sphinx was built by Egyptian people. We don't know who built it. The Sphinx is based on a mythological creature. It's based on a people and a lion. I think that people is based on an Egyptian famous emperor that died. The Sphinx before and after pictures are different. Before, the Sphinx was really colorful. After, the Sphinx was covered up in sand again. If you have a chance to go to Egypt, I hope you remember my speech. That concludes my speech. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ben. That was a very great story about Egypt. can see you did a lot of research, and I think a lot of us want to travel to Egypt now. And so that concludes our STARS storytelling event, and I hope everyone had a really fun time. All of you guys worked really hard on your stories, and your presentations were very well done. Thank you.